So how's it going? It's been a long time, I know. Unfortunately, like other YouTube channels, I don't have a set schedule because I actually have a life. I have real consequences I have to deal with, kind of thing. So it financially also, I can't just keep, I have a lot of things going on. If you've seen the police harassment video shot back on April 21st. A lot of issues have gone through that. I am forced to, due to the fact that I'm low income and whatnot, um, I'm being forced to represent myself. So I have to represent myself on 6 criminal charges due to the fact that legal aid has said I don't qualify for their services. So I've been dealing with all that and everything and dealing with my defense and everything. So I apologize. I know somebody wanted me to do a review of Broke. I honestly can't do a review of Broke because I've never seen it. So, yeah, we'll give a good shot at that. I've never seen this video, period. But I can talk about my experiences in doing this, which was kind of awkward for me due to the fact that I just met this dude, Dave, not too long before they started filming this. And I just started to become a better person. So I wasn't being an asshole. And one of the first times I ever met this guy, Dave, I needed some cash to get some weed, so I went and pawned off a couple of my video games in order to get an eighth, I think it was. So when I went in there, I seen this old man trying to pick up this red tool case. I think it's in the movie because that cocksucking tool case. Anyway, so he's trying to pick up the case and he's trying to pick up all this and like I said, I was just starting to be a better person, so I fucking went over there and helped him, and every time I went in there just to get like whatever, he always seemed to need help, so I just kind of made it a regular thing. Here's this old man kind of thing, trying to fucking move this shit. And it wasn't right. I have the energy, I have the time. So I started helping them and whatnot. And then they started doing this video and whatever. Dave was a good man. He was a good husband and he was a good father. And for that, he earns my respect. And that's why when it was an honor for me to meet him and to know him. So, yeah. I'll talk more about this. I'm gonna do a review. I got everything set up. See, if you don't mind, there is just something that's been bothering me, and that's been this whole Chicago Blackhawks, Kyle Beach, sexual assault and backlash, and this Duncan Keith backlash that's been going on. Now, this has really been bothering me due to the fact that people like Duncan Keith, these are supposed to be role models. They're supposed to be, they're put up on pedestals in society and everything and whatnot. But Duncan Keith is a lowlife piece of shit, along with every Chicago Blackhawk teammate that was involved in that Kyle Beach fiasco, incident, atrocity. And we, as outcasts, know exactly what I'm trying to get at and exactly what happened to Kyle Beach. Because it's happened to us. We were getting our ass, and it happened to me. Here I was, everybody was taking a piece out of my fucking ass. Nobody would say anything. Nobody fucking talked about anything. Nobody did shit. They didn't care. They didn't take the time to care. They looked the other way while I was getting beat. While children are getting abused. And this isn't just about me. This is about fucking children. This is about people being abused and others choosing because, oh, I don't want to be involved, or it's not my problem, or, they use the many excuses they use in order to, you know, they don't want to get involved. It's not their business. They don't want to, it's too much. They get involved in this shit because, and then, they think about themselves first. They don't think about what's going on. And, yeah, and then when they get fucking, when it comes out, all of a sudden, like fucking Duncan Keith and the rest of these so-called role models, athletes, leaders, all play the stupid card. They all play the fucking, it's not my fault. Somebody else's fault. I never knew. Duncan Keith is an egotistical, self-centered, self-absorbed, self-important American douchebag is even a disgrace to every Edmontonian that he's sharing oxygen with. He's a coward. He's a spineless fucking worm. And it's just not Duncan Keith. It's the Brent Seabrooks. It's that whole hockey organization. It's the National Hockey, the NHLPA too. It is the NHL and Gary Bettman. They all chose to look the other way. They all choose to sit there and say, oh, not my problem. They all chose to ignore. When in fact that all this bullshit wouldn't be transpiring now if they have just acted when Kyle Beach come up. And that's a cue to even everybody, every adult that knows about child abuse. You're sitting there knowing a child is getting beat, somebody's getting hurt, and you could do something about it. But what do you choose to do? Look the other way. Ignore. And people say I'm a savage. People say I'm the bad guy. People say I'm the criminal. I don't ignore that shit. I act. I would give my every living fiber of being if I knew a child was being abused to help that kid. But I'm looked down upon. And people like Duncan Keith, the Chicago Blackhawk players that were involved in that all looked the other way and chose to ignore. They're supposed to be better than us. They aren't. We're better than them. And they know it. So outcast. So all you people out there, all you outcasts, you remember that. These celebrities aren't to be looked upon. They aren't to be followed. They aren't to be put on a pedestal. That's the fucking issue. So, and people, before you think, oh, I don't know what he's talking about. That same issue popped up in this episode. I wasn't informed that the people that were fucking making that film had a couple of surprises in there and wanted to see me react and whatnot. And unfortunately, I didn't react the way a lot of people assumed I would react. Now, if you don't know the issue between natives and Catholics, it's this. Catholics stole native children, raped them, beat them, murdered them, did a mass genocide, tried to murder all the fucking native children. There's mass graves through residential schooling and through whatnot. Now, through all my time, I was getting abused. Nobody, like Duncan Keith, like the Chicago Blackhawks, the community and the general neighborhood around me that knew what was happening to me chose to look the other way. Up until people said, hey, we're going to make a film about this guy here. And then all of a sudden, oh, well, we had our ideas, what was going on. We had our ideas about this and that, but we never knew. I will also talk about this film and the experience of this film. The experience of making this film was actually pretty enjoyable. This one, I don't like surprises. They did some surprises. But coming up next, we will be doing a review. To all you outcasts, to all you antisocial people, to all you people going through tough times, remember, that which doesn't kill you only makes you fucking stronger. All those people that fucking look down upon you, that judge you, that fucking badmouth you, that whatever, remember, they're just jealous of you. Because you're fucking awesome. So, I'll see you in a few. You guys take it easy. If you have any comments or anything you'd like to do, hit me up. I know a viewer's gag lock, I do believe it is. I'm sorry if I butchered that fucking. But anyway, Gaglock or whatever wanted me to do a review of this. I am going to do it. Another issue I had, and here's another thing to all you Outcast viewers and whatnot. Go get your shots, okay, for this fucking pandemic and everything. Because I'm going to tell you a quick little story about what I had an issue with. I just lost a friend and an associate. Now, I used to go see the associate and I'd run into my friend all the time. So it was kind of the meeting place. I'd go to see my associate to see my friend kind of thing. Until one day my associate started getting sick and he said, oh, he called me up and said, I think I'm getting sick. And then he described all the fucking things about fucking the COVID and everything. And one of the things that we had an argument about was this vaccine bullshit. And he's sitting there saying all this crap about vaccine, giving him this or this or this. I personally am vaccinated. Now, personally, I never cared about who's vaccinated, who's not vaccinated, up until this incident. So now I care. So anyway, this guy got fucking COVID. And before this, I informed him, I said, you should get the fucking shot because if you get COVID, you're going to have a 7-day fucking coin flip. And he goes, what do you mean? I said, for 7 days, for those 7 days, it's going to be a coin flip whether you survive or die. And he kind of pushed me off like, oh, that's just bullshit, blah, blah, blah. And I ain't going to get the vaccine because it's got tracers and it's got all this. He did all this fucking anti-vax, you're fucked in the head bullshit, right? So I told him about my vaccine. Okay, I've gone through so much abuse that when I was adopted, I almost died because they found out I didn't have any immunization shots that you're supposed to get when you're a child. So the Alberta government refused to give me any of those immunization shots. They were like the king anti-vaxxers towards me when I was in their service as a 2-month-old baby up until 4. Now, this is the same government that decided to lock me away in a closet on my own and starve me. And they refused to give me the immunizations, all the immunizations. So when I was adopted, my adopted jailers or whatever you want to call them. My adoptees decided, hey, let's go walk around Calgary and let's go check out the views and everything. And slowly during this walk, they found out that I didn't know what food was because I wasn't being fed food, chewable, eatable food. I didn't know what ice cream was. I didn't know what food was. And they took me all around Calgary and they're fucking sightseeing and woo, this and this and this. They drove all the way back to where fucking to Cold Lake, to CFB Cold Lake. And the next day, I was on death's door because that's when they found out I didn't have any immunization shots for about a week to 2 weeks. It was touch and go for me, and to this day, I can still remember the pain and the sickness I went through. So I detailed that to him, and I said, "Listen, you're an associate to a friend of mine. Blah blah blah. Um, I really fucking, it's selfish of you to not get the fucking COVID vaccination and put your friend at risk and whatnot." So he got sick and things didn't work out for him. And I lost a friend. My friend, his dog is gone. Along with the rest of his shit. So I don't know what's going on. I got to find out what's going on with my bud. But I'm extremely pissed off now because he could have prevented all this had he just taken a shot. It's not going to give you superpowers. This is made out of metal. It's not sticking to me. I don't have telekinesis or telepathic powers, even though that would be cool. I'm not Magneto. That would be cool too. And just to give you a little down on the low, that's the reason I got the fucking vaccines. I thought, hey, it'd be cool if I had fucking these superpowers. But anyway, listen, I don't push anything on anybody that whatever. When I got my Pfizer vaccine, I had a dead arm. I had a sore fucking arm. I got a little bit of a headache, and that was it. It's not right that if you have any fucking if you got any friends like that and whatever that depend on you or family, I don't. And even I got the fucking vaccine shot. Like, I don't care if I live or die. But I do. Okay, that's wrong. And that's depressing. I care due to the fact that I don't want to leave my animals hanging high and dry. And when you're an animal, when you have pets and everything, you remember when you were a kid and you needed somebody to fucking have you and support you and have your back. Well, that's what I do for my pets. And since nobody gave it to me, I'm not gonna fucking be like my past and not do it to others. You know what I'm saying? Those who fucking sinned upon me, I will not repeat their sins. Kind of shit. So I've always stuck to my friends closely, and I've always had my friends' backs, and I've never fucking sat there and told them or fucking suggested what they should do. I've always let them choose their own. But fucking save me the hassle. Go get the fucking shots. Because if not, 7 fucking days you're gonna spend thinking fucking. Think about this. For 7 days, you're going to be sick, not knowing if you're going to survive it. And for those 7 days, you're going to have stuck in your head that if I just got the fucking shots, I wouldn't be in this predicament. And then think about fucking your family. Think about your loved ones. Okay? Other than that, take it easy. I'll be right with you in a second.